Hey everyone, I'm professional photographer Ian Plant, and I'm here with pro team member Erez Marom, and we are in the beautiful high-altitude desert of Argentina, home to some of the most incredible desert landscapes on the planet. And although there's a lot of beautiful scenery here, and we're doing a lot of photography in many different places, we're actually down here for one specific purpose. And what's that, Erez?
Well, Ian, we're going to shoot the total solar eclipse.
This is going to be awesome. The desert of Argentina is incredibly vast and very diverse, and it contains many extremely photogenic subjects, including ancient volcanoes, massive sand dunes, dramatic rock formations, and salt pans that are seemingly endless. We are down here in the Argentina desert in the middle of winter, so it's very, very cold. Usually it's well below freezing at night. During the day, it'll inch up above freezing. If we're lucky, it doesn't get windy, but it's often very windy here. So it's pretty miserable shooting conditions. And on top of that, we're at a very high elevation, often above 14,000 feet above sea level. And so this is a place that's going to literally take your breath away. But it's well worth it to be here because it's stark, it's remote, it's extremely beautiful, and we're getting all sorts of unique photo compositions, and we're seeing things that most people never see.
Hey guys, my name is Erez Marom. I'm from a town called Holon, close to Tel Aviv in central Israel. So we're in the Labyrinth Desert in Argentina. These are the red hills, beautiful interlacing red hills. And what I'm trying to do here is trying to get a sense of depth in the hills. So what we're going to do is take up our drones, so that way we can get the sense of depth that we'd be lacking if we were shooting from the ground.
One of my favorite spots in the Argentina desert is a place called the Pumice Stone Field. And this is a massive field of giant blocks of pumice stone. This goes on for miles and miles and miles. It's hard to convey the scope of this place. And what happened is many thousands of years ago, there was a massive volcanic eruption that ejected all of this pumice stone and ash, and it just came raining down on this field. And the result is these giant blocks of pumice that are eroding in the wind. And some of these blocks are as high as 40 or 50 feet tall. And there's this black sand that is around all of this. And I love coming here and getting low and close, using the black sand ripples as a foreground in a wide angle composition with stone blocks in the background. So I spend a lot of time looking for interesting stone blocks that are going to make a really great composition. But this place just comes alive at sunrise and sunset because this white stone is very reflective. So whatever the color of the sky, it's going to reflect that. So if you've got direct sunlight on it, it's going to light up at sunrise or sunset with that golden color. But when the sun is down below the horizon, if you've got a really colorful sunrise or a sunset, let's say the whole sky just turns pink because you've got a lot of clouds in the sky, all that light reflects down and these white pumice stones glow with that same pink color. This place is just amazing when you have the right conditions. One really great way of photographing the desert of Argentina is from above with an aerial perspective. Both Erez and I have been flying our drones a lot, and it's allowed us to capture some really compelling subjects that aren't easily seen from the ground, including all sorts of intricate erosion patterns in the hills and desert features, as well as a bunch of really colorful geothermal pools. All right, we've arrived in the small mountain town of Rodeo, which is pretty much right in the middle of the path of totality of the solar eclipse. So it's going to be a great place for us to photograph. There's lots of beautiful scenery all around us, and it's going to be our base of operations for the next 2 days as we wait for the solar eclipse and do our scouting to find the best locations to photograph the eclipse. And we're staying at this awesome little hotel, but there's one small problem. All of the rooms here have been booked for months on end, and we really don't have that many other lodging options here, so we're going to be spending our nights in tents. It's going to be some glamorous camping, glamping. This is going to be a lot of fun. So right now we are scouting for our potential compositions for when the eclipse occurs tomorrow. We spent most of the day canvassing the broader area by vehicle, looking at the various scenic options. And after looking at a number of options, we decided that this particular one, this scenic lake, was going to be the best place for us to get great eclipse photos. You can see there's a lot of really gorgeous desert scenery here in the background, so we're hoping that we can find some interesting foregrounds in these colorful rocks that are all around the lake. And we're out here at the same time that the eclipse is going to occur tomorrow afternoon. So we know exactly where the sun is going to be as we plan our compositions. And this is when the pressure is on, because we don't want to just make good eclipse photos. We want to make great eclipse photos. So we're really working hard to find the perfect composition to bring this amazing scenic event to life.
So we're here in Cuesta del Viento Lake. It was very hard to pick a location to shoot the eclipse. The eclipse only lasts 2 minutes, so there's absolutely no chance of moving location during it. My options were shooting all the way up there in the hills, which mean I would have a beautiful foreground leading to the eclipse, but I would never get any reflection.
So what's in my camera bag? Well, basically I'm trying to get 3 different shots of the eclipse. So first of all, I've got a wide angle zoom. I'm hoping to get a wide angle shot with the eclipse in the background. Second of all, I've got a telephoto zoom so I can get a close-up shot of the eclipse. And then third, I'm going to fly my drone overhead so I can get an aerial perspective with the eclipse in the shot. Now, I've only got 2 minutes of time during totality to work all 3 of those cameras, so I'll be juggling them back and forth, and the only way I can make that successfully happen is if I scout out my shots ahead of time. The wide angle and the drone shot are going to require me to know exactly where I want to be during the eclipse, and then that is the only way I can make this work. All right, the die has been cast. Both Erez and I have decided to come up to the hills to photograph the eclipse, and we've got about 20 minutes until it happens. So there's no chance now of backing down. We've got our chosen compositions. We've just got our fingers crossed that everything will come together perfectly. Now we've got everything set up. We've got our cameras ready to go with the settings we want dialed in. We got our drones ready to launch. And in about 10 minutes, we're gonna launch the drones, get them in position, and then we're gonna get ready to shoot. And then when the eclipse happens, we're gonna just run around like crazy and get it done. All right, it's go time. The eclipse is happening. Wow, this is just incredible. So amazing.
Those 2 minutes just ran out of my hands. It was like 30 seconds. I told Ian that couldn't have been 2 minutes. That was maybe 40 seconds. And Ian was like, no man, it was 2 minutes. But I've had to juggle my land cam, my telephoto lens, and my drone. And it was so difficult. I had to chase everything and do everything so fast. I really hope I got a good exposure in the land cam. I'm pretty sure I got the telephoto close-up of the eclipse nailed. Drone, I really don't know. I'll have to check back home.
Both of us were scrambling. We didn't have any time to change what we were doing. So right now, we're just hoping, we're just praying that we got great eclipse photos.
In my 10-year career so far, this is the single hardest and most challenging thing I've had to do as a photographer.
Wow, this has been an amazing photo adventure, and I'm so glad you could join us for it. I hope you found this video to be educational and inspirational. I'm Ian Plant.
I'm Erez Marom.
And thanks for watching. Bye.